You have an Indian passport. You've gone through document checks, police verification, and government scrutiny. You can use that passport to travel the world, prove your nationality to immigration authorities abroad, and seek protection from Indian embassies. So here's the question. Does that passport conclusively prove that you're an Indian citizen? According to a recent clarification by the Ministry of External Affairs, the answer is no. And that statement has triggered a major political and legal debate about surprisingly a simple question. How do Indians actually prove they are Indian citizens? The controversy began after an MEA official said that a passport is primarily a travel document and should not be treated as conclusive proof of citizenship. The remarks sparked criticism from opposition leaders and public figures, many of whom questioned how a document issued after extensive government verification could fall short of proving citizenship. The government, however, says this is not a new policy or change in law. Officials have stressed that passports have never been considered definitive proof of citizenship under Indian law. But that raises an obvious question. If a passport isn't proof of citizenship, then what is? Under the Passports Act 1967, authorities verify an applicant's credentials before issuing a passport and can refuse one if the applicant is not an Indian citizen. This is why many people assume a passport should be enough. The government's argument is that there is a legal difference between a document being strong evidence of citizenship and being conclusive proof of citizenship. A passport shows that the state accepted a person's citizenship claim when it was issued, but if that claim is later found to be incorrect or fraudulent, the passport can be revoked. Courts have also held that a passport alone does not permanently settle the question of citizenship. The bigger issue is that India does not have a single universal citizenship document. Citizenship is governed by Citizenship Act 1955 and can be acquired through birth, descent, registration, naturalization, or incorporation of territory. Because of this, proving citizenship often depends on how citizenship was acquired in the first place. Many commonly used documents also have limitations. Aadhaar is not proof of citizenship because it is issued to residents, not just citizens. A PAN card is a tax document. A voter ID shows that a person is registered as an elector but does not independently establish citizenship. Even a birth certificate may not always settle every citizenship question under the law. In 2020, the Ministry of Home Affairs told Parliament that citizenship is determined under the Citizenship Act and not by one such document such as Aadhaar card, passport, voter ID, PAN card, or birth certificate. Instead, citizenship is often established through a combination of records: birth certificates, passports, parental records, voter records, school documents, and other evidence that together help establish a person's status. And this is not just a theoretical legal debate. The question of what constitutes a proof of citizenship has become increasingly important in the recent electoral roll verification exercises across the country. During Bihar's Special Intensive Revision or SIR of electoral rules, a major controversy emerged over the document voters could use to establish their eligibility. The exercise sparked concern because many commonly held documents, including Aadhaar card, voter ID cards, were not treated as automatically sufficient to settle questions of eligibility. Similar concerns have surfaced elsewhere. In Assam, discussions around voter verification have long been shaped by the legacy of NRC process, where questions of documentation and citizenship have remained politically and legally contentious. In West Bengal too, electoral roll scrutiny has often become intertwined with broader debates around migration, citizenship, and voter eligibility. This is why the MEA's clarification has attracted so much attention. For many critics, the issue is not simply whether a passport is a travel document. It is the broader concern that if voter IDs, Aadhaar cards, and now even passports are not considered conclusive proof of citizenship, ordinary citizens may be left wondering what evidence would ultimately be enough if their citizenship were ever questioned. There is one exception. A citizenship certificate specifically certifies citizenship, but these are generally issued only to people who acquire citizenship through registration or naturalization. Most Indians who are citizens by birth do not possess one. And that's why this debate has struck a nerve. Supporters of the government's position say the legal framework has remained unchanged for decades and that citizenship has always been determined through the Citizenship Act rather than a single document. Critics, meanwhile, argue that in a country where citizenship determines the right to vote, contest elections, hold public office, and access constitutional protections, citizens deserve greater clarity about what evidence ultimately proves that status. The controversy highlights a unique feature of India's system. For most of the country's history, citizenship has been inferred through a collection of records rather than proven through one universally accepted document. And that leaves India with a fundamental question. In the world's largest democracy, should citizenship continue to be established through a patchwork of documents, or is it time for a single universally recognized proof of citizenship? For more such updates, keep watching DeKoder.